The NBA season gathers momentum. It's the Detroit Pistons going up against the Chicago Bulls and their resplendent young point man, Derrick Rose. Coming right up.
A look at the Chicago Bulls' sensational point guard Derrick Rose as he made his arrival. And 2K Sports welcomes you to the NBA. Kevin Harlan here with Clark Kellogg. Glad to have you on board. The Bulls happy to return to Chicago after the road trip. A promising start to the season, winning at a higher rate than last year. That's what it's all about, finding ways to keep getting better.
They're starting a homestand here, a short one it is, Kevin, but nonetheless, it's important to get off to a good start.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Stuckey and Rip are in the backcourt. Jason Maxiell is out there with Tayshaun Prince and Wallace. And for Chicago, Rose and Dang on the floor. Carlos Boozer and Joakim Noah, they're inside. And Brewer. Clark, the Bulls with 28 wins a year ago in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, and Kevin, they went 24 and 28 the year before that, so progress is being made, but more improvement has to happen if you're going to be more than a perennial 8th seed.
Now here's Rose. Noah kicks to Boozer. Outside Rose. Just 4 to shoot. Takes it up. It's blocked. So Clark, with the Bulls, what's missing for them? How do you get from a 7th or an 8th seed and move up a little bit?
Well, you've got to have an inside presence, Kevin. Boozer to pair up with Derrick Rose. Powerful presence inside.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Tom Thibodeau. Their focus will largely be centered on defense today. He said if we challenge them and make them work hard for every point, I don't think they'll have the energy left to handle us defensively. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris. So defense is the key early on.
You know, it's not surprising, Kevin, when you think about the great team. So much of their game planning really starts at the defensive end of the floor.
And so it's the Pistons getting on the board first. And taken away by Wallace. Here's Stuckey. Goes up. Drops in the breakaway layup. Stuckey's got his first 2 points of the night. The Pistons, you know, Clark, traded away Chauncey Billups with the idea that Stuckey could assume the reins of the point guard position.
It hasn't quite unfolded the way they hoped it would. Part of it is because Stuckey is a combo guard. He's not really a true point. I love what he brings to the table, though. Physicality, the ability to score. I think he's got to refine his perimeter shot and the three-point shot, and then continue to grow in his decision-making as a point guard. But I like his potential going forward. That's why you can't quit on the boards, Kevin. Those second-chance points, they're waiting if you stay after it.
Wasn't that a beautiful tip-in, Clark? Such a nice touch.
Yeah, excellent control.
Maxiell against Boozer. Rose against Stuckey. Brewer, good.
That's a great pass. Way to get it to the open man.
Here's Stuckey, coming off a stellar performance against Oklahoma City. And Rose picks him up defensively. 13 feet out. And the shot is good from Stuckey. Stuckey's got his second bucket of the night. And it's the Bulls with the ball. Trailing by 4. Clark, this is the first they're seeing of Detroit.
No surprises last year. This team did not pose much of a threat.
Yeah, they were brutal. Rose, no good. Pistons leading by 4. And here is Stuckey. Over Noah. And the Pistons getting another bucket right there. These two teams, Clark, just really playing on different levels.
They really were, Kevin. The outcomes were rarely in doubt. A clean sweep, simply said.
Outside Dang. Brewer backs in. Noah, the pass to Rose. Kept alive. Another shot. And he gets it to go. They call the foul. He'll get a chance to make it 3.
He doesn't have a lot of game with his back to the basket, but that time he found a way to get it done in there. That's a pretty good move for a guy you don't expect to score in the paint.
The free throw off from Boozer. Carlos Boozer, born on a military base in West Germany, grew up in Juneau, Alaska. Very interesting background, Clark.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like something out of a movie. I mean, his parents moved from D.C. to Alaska when Carlos was 7. He kind of wanted to escape the crime in D.C. and make a fresh start. They went a long way to do it.
Yeah, they did. Here is Stuckey following the score by Luol Deng. Deng against Prince. Stuckey against Rose. 4 on the shot clock. Let's go with the 3. No good from Hamilton. Chicago trailing here. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
You look at where they really impacted the flow in this one, and it was in getting a hold of the loose balls and taking advantage of the lack of ball control at the other end of the court.
Got the bucket and the foul. Great shot. He'll go to the line for one more. Charlie Villanueva's checked in for Jason Maxia. And he gives them the lead. Derrick Rose out of Memphis, the former #1 overall pick in 2008. And then Clark, he went on to win the NBA Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and he's proven himself as a terrific playoff performer in his first 2 years in the league as well. And he's only getting better, Kevin. Made his first All-Star team last year. Kids, listen now. If you want to learn the art of rebounding, you have to watch this guy. And the dunks aren't bad either.
Yeah, he threw that one down with reckless abandon. Here's Deng. Poked away.
He got too casual with the ball there, and it led to a steal.
And Clark, talk about what makes Derrick Rose so special.
Well, I think it's his combination, Kevin, of size, strength, and speed, as well as acceleration in the open court. He is a terrific finisher in the lane.
Now here's Rose, following the shot by Tayshaun Prince.
It's been a struggle. It's not happening right now. He needs to settle down a bit and let the offense come to him a little more. He's forcing things right now.
Stuckey against Rose. Hamilton. Back to Stuckey. And Rose picks him up defensively. Here's Hamilton. Carlos Boozer pulls it in.
He's had some problems finding the range here in this quarter.
Deng kicks to Rose. Guarded now by Tayshaun Prince. Prince against Rose. Fires top of the key. Rose can't get that one to fall.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Rip Hamilton with his slender build, 6'7", about 195. He's a bit of a greyhound, always in motion.
And he's old school, too. Keeps it very simple, tough-minded, excellent in terms of how he conditions himself. You've got to be in shape to stay with him. Something about his game looks off here. He's just been out of kilter, not in rhythm. I know they'll need him to turn it around if they're going to be successful.
The Pistons leading. Now Stuckey. He has 6. He's covered by Deng. Prince backing him down. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
He's not giving an inch on defense. He really bothered that shot.
For the alley-oop. Oh, and the dunk by Brewer.
Just toss it up there and let your teammate take care of his business.
Clark, really, is there a prettier play in the game of basketball than that?
I don't think so.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Now here the 2K leaderboard with last season's top rebounding teams. Taking a look at Chicago. Such a solid presence inside, tough to handle.
Boy, last season they were phenomenal on the glass. I mean, everybody took pride in rebounding the basketball on both ends of the floor. Not just defensively, they got to that offensive glass as well. A terrific offensive rebounding team.
Making a switch here, the Bulls. Here's Rose, following the bucket by the Pistons. Deng passes to Boozer. Noah, Wallace covering. Here is Bogans. Back to Rose. It's hauled in by Villanueva.
This quarter's been a disaster for him, Kevin. He just can't buy a bucket.
The Detroit Pistons trying to get back on track after an uncharacteristic losing season a year ago.
Yeah, and Kevin, if they're going to climb back up in the standings in the East, they can start by taking care of some of the teams in the Eastern Conference. I mean, they were just 18-34 playing against teams in the East last season. Tough interior defense means not allowing easy baskets. Good foul.
So for the Pistons, Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Wallace. And Jerebko is subbed in for Charlie Villanueva. And Rose drops them both. Here's Stuckey. 8 points for him. The Pistons felt, Clark, like they needed to reconstruct their team since they weren't getting any younger, but the rebuilding hasn't been as smooth as they had hoped.
Not at all, Kevin. I mean, this is an organization with championship aspirations, and just making the playoffs is not good enough for the Pistons. Unfortunately, with the renovation and the rebuild last season, they couldn't even get that done.
Here's Rose after the made shot from Greg Monroe.
Great awareness makes him a dangerous threat every time down the floor.
Here is Stuckey. About 4.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Back to Prince. 18 feet away. Again, the Pistons good for 2. Here's Rose. And Boozer backs in. Pulls the trigger. Kept alive. Here's Noah. From deep. That doesn't go either for Rose. And here are the Pistons now. And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has some info for us. Doris, take it away.
Kevin, 6'11" rookie Greg Monroe is known as a fantastic passer for a big man. He said, "It's just something I was successful using and like to do. It helped win games, me being versatile and helping my teammates get shots. I've grown with it, and I love doing it. It's probably my best skill right now, and I'm going to continue to do it. Guys will like playing alongside him. Back to you."
No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris. Blocked.
I'm sure he'd like to have a do-over here. He just hasn't been able to make a significant contribution in this one. That's a nice finish in transition, partner. That's exactly how you run the break.
Bulls trail by 6. Here's Noah. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Oklahoma City. Here's Stuckey. 4-point game. He's covered by Rose. Hamilton. Monroe backs him down. Scooped up. Off target with the jump hook.
The D left him enough space to sink it, but he couldn't get it done.
Boozer kicks to Rose. The 3. Rose with another miss.
You have to question his shot selection, Kevin. Poor shots equal bricks and misses.
Stuckey with it. 8 points for him. Monroe backs in. Hamilton against Rose. 2 on the clock. Nice shot by Hamilton. Hamilton's got 5 points so far.
You've got to close out on that mid-range jump shot.
Stuckey against Rose. Dang, guarded by Prince. Dang against Prince. Just 2 to shoot. With 1 second left. Boozer no luck.
Well, so far they're showing a slight edge in rebounding to start the ball game.
And here is Stuckey. Takes it up. Bogan snatches it inside. Bulls trail by 6. Throws it up.
What about the setup? I mean, there are assists, and then there are delicious dimes.
Well, putting it up there soft and throwing it down hard. Here's Stuckey, following the score by Luol Deng. Now a timeout called by Detroit. Chicago making some changes. Kurt Thomas, he's checked in for Noah. Gibson comes in for Carlos Boozer. And Ronnie Brewer's subbed in for Keith Bogans. And then for Detroit, Ben Wallace, he's checked in for Monroe. Villanueva comes in for Urebko. And Ben Gordon is subbed in for Tayshaun Prince. Here's Gordon over Thomas. And it's Gordon missing. 59 seconds left in the first. Gang kicks to Brewer. Rodney Stuckey covering. Here's Rose. Kept alive. Thomas passes to Gibson. It's taken away by Stuckey.
I think this quarter particularly, we're seeing them having trouble keeping possession of the ball. Far, far too many turnovers right now.
Hamilton against Dang. No luck. Pistons go the other way with the ball. Now Stuckey. He's got 8. Fades away. And that is good. Stuckey's got 10 points in the game.
I'm not a big fan of the fadeaway in that situation, but he drained it. Nice shot.
On its way from Rose for 2.
You got to expect more out of him here. He's had a lot of difficulty this quarter, which in turn is making it difficult for them to cut into this deficit at all.
First quarter over, and big numbers up on the board. Pistons ahead, up 6.
Well, they've been getting out on the break and finding easy buckets. You got to give them credit. They've been working their tails off.
Don't go away. Back in just a moment.